Okay, I'm just going to get right into it. The Cleveland Browns have been rumored in pursuing New York Jets, or as you may know him better, former Minnesota Vikings running back Dalvin Cook. And in this video, I am going to sit here and tell you exactly why the Cleveland Browns should not pursue Dalvin Cook. And we'll go beyond just the fact that he has done absolutely nothing for the Jets this year, but we'll also talk about what the Browns already have, the impact on the locker room, including the Joe Flacco effect, because I am telling you right now, these are the kind of things that you can do late in season that will either help or hurt your team. And I think bringing in Dalvin Cook will hurt the Cleveland Browns. So let's talk about it. All right. In this article, you will see that Dalvin Cook could make sense as a Browns. Could he make sense as a Browns playoff addition? In this Browns Wire, they are actually making the argument. All right. They are actually making the argument. Well, looks like we're not going to get to see it. All right. They are making the argument that they need to pursue him. All right, he has a history with Browns coach Kevin Stefanski during their time with the Vikings, and Cleveland hired Stefanski. Cook had nothing but good things to say about him. They're talking about how the Jets have released him and that they should give him a call. He didn't see much usage in New York, and honestly, here's where I start going against it. It didn't make much sense after the fanfare behind the signing. Okay, so he goes to the New York Jets. The fans are going nuts. They're excited about it. They have a running back coming off a really bad injury, and they're wondering, Breece Hall that is, and they're wondering, like, what does this look like for a franchise? Now we have two great running backs, that are going to be able to help Aaron Rodgers, who ends up getting hurt on the third play, and all of this kind of stuff, and he just simply doesn't play. He doesn't play. He never played more than 13 snaps in a game, and that was week 1 against Buffalo. After that, he never played more than 10 snaps in a game. He's averaging 3.2 yards per attempt. He has been awful. He has 67 attempts for 214 yards. His PFF grade this year is a 54.3. In fact, when you go into the history of Dalvin Cook, the year that both Kareem Hunt is putting together right now, and that's the thing I want to make clear, Jerome Ford is putting together right now, both would be the best season, no matter how you look at it, than what Dalvin Cook has done in the last 2 or 3 years. Sure, he was rushing for 1,000 yards. He was rushing for 1,100 yards because he's getting carries like crazy. But his PFF grade was never, it was a 65 and a 67. A 65 and a 67. Right now, Jerome Ford is running at a 70.5 and Kareem Hunt at a 68.8. It is very, very clear to me. That, how do I want to put this? Dalvin Cook is done. Like, he's gassed. He has not done. He's just not who he used to be. Jerome Ford has 200 carries this year for 807 yards. That's fine. I got no problems with that. Right? Do you? No, it's not Nick Chubb, and he never will be. All right, Kareem Hunt, 135 carries for 411 yards, and still somehow has a better running grade. He was in a very good run system in Minnesota. I understand because it's the same system that Stefanski had, and it's the same system that Dalvin Cook had really good success in. I understand that. I get all that. But I'm telling you, this is a guy, and you might not remember in the beginning of the year, there was a bunch of drama surrounding him. Where's he going to go? He doesn't want to go through all of training camp. He goes to the Bills. He goes to the Jets. He visits these teams. Nobody's signing him. And then eventually the Jets are like, all right, fine. Right? Because what else do they have? Michael Carter? So they sign him, and they bring him on the team, and he just flat out doesn't play. And they seemingly are willing to play anybody other than him. I don't think he's this guy that all of a sudden sends a great boost to the locker room. You have a locker room that is in a great position right now. You have a team that has rallied around each other, and you want to go bring in a aged beyond his prime, beyond his second level of prime. He already had those 2 years. He had his prime years, and then he had a couple years where he was clearly deteriorating. On this channel, we're Lions fans, right? But we love us some Brownies, Erie Brothers. Let's go. All right. So we have another one, Sports Talk Detroit, another channel, but I've been watching Dalvin Cook a lot because he's in our division. He clearly lost half a step the last couple years. And this year, he clearly lost the other half. He's down a step, maybe two, maybe a step and a half. I don't know, but he's not the Dalvin Cook that he used to be. So you're going to bring him in here and ruin the cohesion that you have on this team? I'd rather have Pierre Strong running the ball 20 times a game than Dalvin Cook. I would. It's not even close for me. I want nothing to do with Dalvin Cook. These same rumors happen like, hey, should the Detroit Lions take any interest in Dalvin Cook? First off, we already have 2 running backs, but everybody loves the idea of what Dalvin Cook was. The fact is that's not what he is. I think the other fact is that when it's blocked right, these running backs that you currently have proven that they will. Jerome Ford has proven that he can do really good things. He's a good running back. I understand you talk about vision and you talk about stuff like that. Well, guess what? Offensive linemen, when they have cohesion, they block better. Agreed? They know what the other lineman's going to do. They know what each other's tendencies are and things like that. Guess what? It's the same for a running back. When he has consistency behind the offensive line, he learns the tendencies of his offensive linemen too. So he learns what they're going to be doing as well. So vision improves, believe it or not, when you have a consistency in the offensive line. Now, let's talk about the team aspect of it. There's an article that went out that talked about how Joe Flacco has the trait Channing Frye once have to help bring a title to Cleveland. All right, this is a very interesting article, but they talked about how they brought Channing Frye in mid-season, and the team was kind of fractured at points. They had different cliques and different things like that of people they hung out with, and Channing Frye just walked in and was just old enough to provide more than shooting. He was just he was going to hang out with everybody. He was going to bring everybody together. And Joe Flacco does the same thing. He's going to be 39 in 2 weeks. So when the playoffs are going, hopefully he'll likely play a playoff game at 39 years old for the Cleveland Browns. And so he has brought that same chemistry, that unity together to this team. I just don't think it makes sense to bring in another player right now to risk the fracture of the unity that this team has for a running back that, quite honestly, thank you, I agree, good job, right? For quite frankly and quite honestly, a running back who's not more talented than the guys you have on the roster. Let me know what you think. All right, leave a comment. Let me know. Do you agree with me? Do you think that Dalvin Cook has lost a step or lost all of his steps? And do you think the Browns should pursue him? Let me know. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.